force, I know it's hard to remember. All 1,980 members. That's why you have to go and collect them all. Tell your parents they can buy them at the mall now.
Hello, and welcome to Speeding Bullets Repackaged. I am Richie.
You certainly are, Richie. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Speeding Bullets Repackaged. I love that all of our stuff has a good, nice R, like re at the beginning, so we can be like reloaded, repackaged, respawned, rewind. Oh.
You guys don't know about that one yet. Coming soon.
Oh, it's coming soon. Coming soon. Yes, coming soon. How are you doing today, Richie?
I am good, for an exciting reason that I'll tell later in the episode, because I stumbled on some awesomeness today. But other than that, doing really well, I guess. No complaints today. Finally saw Thunderbolts last night. So we'll be able to talk about that on our other show.
On our other podcast, audio only, Reloaded. Check your local listings for times. I don't know. Remember when that used to be a thing? Check your local listings for times, and you'd be like, I have to go into a newspaper and look through. And now all you got to do is follow us on the interwebs, and we'll share that information with you.
Yeah, you can like and subscribe. Just, hit that bell.
That bell, ding. I know Richie has a ding noise. I can't hear the sound effects, probably for the best, so I don't murder him or me. But they are there. I've been told. I haven't watched. Okay, so I haven't watched last week's episode or this week's episode yet. So don't give me a hard time. Right? I'm tied up doing other things, and I won't. You know what? I'm not even going to get a chance to watch it tonight, because as soon as Richie and I are done recording this is Tuesday, May the 13th. It is the finale for Andor, and it's like almost 3 hours, so that's starting at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight, watching Andor's
I just started
finale.
a little while ago.
So no time.
When I was putting up the last few pictures, so I'm about halfway through the first episode.
Richie's he's not even going to be caught up to where I am by the end of the evening.
That's right.
So when we talk about this on our other podcast, I'm going to spoil the fuck out of it for him. It's a promise.
We'll see about that.
All of you people out there, watch the next video when his face is like, "You son of a bitch."
What's that? For some reason, we can't hear Tupper's audio. He's in the Phantom Zone.
Oh.
Anyways, we got our first segment coming up.
Coming soon, baby. Here it is. This music is playing. It's so new wave. I can't remember. Honestly, can't remember. I do know it's long because Richie has no ability to self-edit.
Hey, so the new segment's music that you'll hear later is only 8 seconds, opposed to the 11 that one is.
8 seconds, folks. 8 seconds is an eternity. Eternity sometimes, especially when you're high. I would like to add, 8 seconds can feel like 8 years.
I know, right?
And he would know that. He would know that. So am I correct, Richie? Do we only have one thing in coming soon?
We only have one thing in coming soon. I've been waiting. No new Mcfarlane pre-orders coming up. No new Marvel Legends. Nothing cool NECA-wise. Nothing else cool that we don't normally look at. Nothing. Like, I couldn't find nothing or anything to speak
properly. There is one thing. Last week, I know we talked about this last week because I have a very good memory. So last week, I said that we would never talk about Lego, this podcast. I said it. I said with some exceptions. So by saying there would be some exceptions to this rule. And guess what? This week, we have one of the exceptions. Here is the exception.
Right here.
As soon as Richie hits the button.
Sorry, I got distracted by
It is
something
the
else.
Simpsons Lego Krusty Burger house. It's now under the Lego Ideas brand. So the Simpsons Lego, for those of you who are unaware, they had 2 sets that came out and a bunch of blind bag figures like 10 years ago. 2014, I think, is when it. I think it was released in 2013. And Richie, I've said this before, maybe not on this further podcast, but Richie and our good friend Terry, rest in peace, buddy, and a couple of other people bandied together to get me the Simpsons Lego house, which I still have. It's not built because I deconstructed a bunch of times. I'm not going to go into details, but it's one of the best gifts that I've ever gotten in my entire life, in my entire history of life. What a wonderful thing.
It's pretty
A year
cool.
later, the Quickie Mart came out. Quickie Mart. But here we are, Krusty Burger. It's $200 and I believe $70 Canadian, maybe $280.
Mm-hmm. It opens up really well, though.
That's a spicy ball. It does open up really well. Comes with a bunch of exclusive figures. You get a Sideshow Bob. You get a Krusty. You get Lisa with her sacks. I have that. You get Homer.
You get Farmer Krusty.
Ooh! And the Squeaky Voice Teen.
That's right.
Oh, sorry, your taco fell in the fryer. I'll just get it. Oh! 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 You can walk around doing your Krusty voice when you get this. I mean, I have a Krusty, but this is like the official Krusty. It's a pretty good Krusty.
No, but not bad. Not bad. I gotta say.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Obviously, I'm interested in this. If you're looking for presents to get me, boom. Perfect present. I would accept it sight unseen. Big fan. Really excited that they decided to do this. So, yay, more Simpsons Lego. Yay, more Simpsons Lego. Not going to get this. Is not his...
I mean, I love the Simpsons, but I'm not as big as the Simpsons as Tupper is. Plus, I have other Lego interests.
Most people aren't. Yeah. Most people aren't as big a fan as the Simpsons as I am. It's a religion. It's my only religion.
Mm-hmm. It used to be mine, but honest. I kind of like
it is the only thing
fell off. I'm like a lapsed Simpsonite.
You're like a self-hating Christian.
That's right.
I don't know if I believe in Jesus anymore.
I'm just here to
I go to church once a year.
I'm here to tell how good it used to be and what kind of crap this new stuff is.
It's not that bad, I know. But it's not as good as seasons 3 through 10. But either way, this is coming out, so check your pre-orders, check your stores. It's not going to be cheap, but
is there a date on that yet?
Simpsons fans, probably on your list. No, I just saw it. It popped up today.
So useful.
I think I don't look for stuff like that. Again, like unless you are watching these videos and you're like, please tell us the exact date and time. Let us know in the comments. Then we will. I will go more specific with it than that. But I just know the pictures came out today.
Action figures are coming out. Just saying.
Well, you're a better person than me.
I mean, it's not.
I'm not gonna.
All right, that was the shortest.
It's not where I thought you were going to go with that, buddy.
I think my brain was trying to go somewhere else, but then it was like, no, okay. I was just, I'll blame it on the pot.
It's probably
that was the shortest coming soon segment we've ever done. And now, a top 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, but Tupper doesn't bring you the top 5 this time. The top 5 is coming from me this time.
It's Richie's top 5, which I'm very excited to see what his top 5 is. And honestly, we're going to do this back and forth. Like, we're never going to do a top 5. The same person does a top 5 every week. And we won't do 2 top 5s in a row where, like, you do a top 5 and I'll do a top 5. That's 10. That's 10. Too many.
Too many tops.
We we only have enough budget for 5.
That's
right. So what is our top 5 this week, Richie?
Our
Hit it
top
up.
5 is the top 5, my top 5 Superman figures that I own currently.
I mean, you know what? If I had a dartboard and a dart, I could have thrown it sight unseen at the dartboard, and I would have picked that one.
Yep, I figured that's where I got to start.
Behind the back.
I'm the Superman guy. So, number 5 for me is this guy right here. The Red Sun Superman. I think this is one that I picked up maybe off of Marketplace when I first started jumping back into the action figure collecting. Red Sun Superman is one of my favorite Elseworld comic books. If you haven't read it, do yourself a favor, go out and find it. You can find it probably on the DC Universe app, which I have, but I haven't gone to in a little while. But that's neither here nor there. But it's just a really good sculpt that represents the character really well. It's a shame, of course, that's not a cloth cape, because I don't think when they made this one they had moved over to the cloth capes yet. But I will always bring up my love for cloth capes and my disdain when there isn't one, even though it wasn't in the era of cloth capes.
I do like the cape design. It's got a nice plastic design. I love the...
Yeah, they do the ripples very well.
Triangle they do. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. It looks good. So it's a good-looking figure.
Game with the flight stand.
And it's classic.
I think he had a couple other hands. I didn't dig the hands out. I just didn't feel like it. But yeah, he's a good Superman figure. My next one dips into 2 worlds that I love. For number 4, first that being the Black Lantern Superman, which we've discussed recently because I got that recently, and I showed it, and I showed the Atrocitus Build-A-Figure that I got as a result of getting this one first for $14 at Walmart. I just really love
steal.
How well, and it's funny, this is at my GameStop now from some of the old figures that they've shipped in, but they did a really good job with a lot of the Black Lantern figures. They really nailed the that's the only 2 pictures I have. They really nailed like the zombie look, and the even though it's not cloth, they still, the tattered cape looks pretty cool. That of course comes from the Blackest Night series, during which anyone that had died ever was turned into a Black Lantern. Died.
So. I'm using air quotes because they brought Batman. He was a Black Lantern, and that was obviously not true because Batman was not dead. He was just being cycled through time thanks to the Omega effect from Darkseid's beams. Jesus, again, sometimes I say things on these podcasts, and I swear to God, I'm like, nope, that's the nerdiest thing you've ever said. And it's not. I'm going to trump it next week. I'm going to beat it next week, but here we are.
It's true.
Just wanted to draw attention to it that I do know shit about comics.
You know shit about comics.
But I also know shit about comics, yes. Because, again, the great storyline, love the Blackest Night stuff, love all the zombie stuff, love all the rings. Nice. It is nice, and it does have a nice head.
Next one is one
I'm just gonna say, when good head are things that you will hear on toy podcasts and in porn.
That's right.
Those only the 2, just those 2.
It's that small Venn diagram.
Hear good head. It's like, is that porn? No. I was watching these guys talk about it. It's like, yeah, there you go.
That should be a new quiz: porn or action figure. Maybe I'll add that.
Yeah, very depressing quiz.
Yeah.
Yes, you work on that, and I will make fun of you for it.
Next one is another alternate, but it is the fusion, the Batman Superman fusion. This comes from a storyline in Batman Superman World's Finest during the Rebirth stage of DC, and this actually involves Green Lantern as well, which is why the hands are green. But I forget the villain's name, but it was the villain that was a big part of the Batman versus Robin, and that kicked off the Lazarus Planet storyline. But basically, there involved magic, and this guy was controlling Hal, Green Lantern, and that his willpower was so strong that neither of them could remove the ring from Hal themselves, but together their willpower was greater than his. They were able to remove it, and in doing so, it caused a reaction to make them into this version of Batman Superman with a little bit of Green Lantern magic power in there as well. It's pretty cool. Like the batarangs are hard-like constructs, so they're pretty cool, and it's just a really cool looking design because it's got because there's a dragon in the story too, so the Batman Superman symbol's all dragon-like in there. It's really cool. It was a fun story. I've actually read it.
It's a crazy mashup of like 40 different things.
Yeah.
A little bit of Batman, a little bit of Superman, a tiny bit of Green Lantern, a little jigger of dragon, and I said that is a
Jigger.
Yes, just to make sure, in case you're casually listening.
And or if it cut out.
We don't say stuff like that on this podcast, and we will fight anyone who does.
Yes.
Fists.
Punch you in the face.
So that's right.
Where was I? That was 5, 4. That was 3. On to number 2.
Where was I? Wow.
Sorry, I can't keep between 5 and 2. I can't keep track of that. It's a thing. This one specifically, I wanted to put on the list. This was one of the newer ones that I got this year, getting back into it. But this is specifically the first cloth cape Superman that I had picked up. And this one is specifically good because not all capes have the yellow S on the back, and I love it when they do that design in comics and on action figures with the yellow S on the back. I don't know what it is. I just think it looks cool. It looks better than just the normal red cape. And the other thing about this one is the S on the piece is really shiny and looks really cool, and it kind of pops out.
So I have 2 comments to make. Number 1, why I feel like not all capes is a hashtag that's going to show up on the final season of The Boys, coming out in December or November of this year. And number 2, I don't love the S on the back of the cape because, like, how many different ways does this guy get to tell us he's Superman? You know, like, you got it coming, you got it going. Like, we get it. You're moving faster than a bullet. Like, we get it. You're moving faster than a speeding bullet.
In case they didn't see, they got to know.
But I will concede it's not I'm fine with it. I don't love it when it's on my figures, but I'm fine with it. Mm-hmm. Like, I get it's part of the character, so it's iconic. But I prefer no shield on the cape.
And that's the thing. It's a very there's only real 2 camps on it. There's either you like it or you don't. There's no middle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm as close as we can get because, like, I'm not personally offended if it's on there.
Yeah.
And to be walking around and be like, the stupid thing just doesn't make any sense.
Not all artists do it. So it's not like it's a right or wrong. It's a style choice, and it's a style choice that I particularly like.
There you go. And you don't have to justify that, Richie.
Yeah. And bringing us to the final one, one of my more recent ones that I got around Christmas time, the Henry Cavill Superman. He came with Doomsday, and there he is there in front of with Superman, but it's just a very nice, awesome done figure. The costume is textured really well. The likeness is really good. Again, we got a cloth cape that's really well done. You can do some nice cool poses. See, you even got the ripples like on the plastic cape before. And yeah, that's It's my favorite one
Yeah.
that I got because I love Cavill as Superman. I didn't throw the Chris Reeves ones in there. I do love them. I think they're more in my they're within my top 10, but not in my top 5.
I mean, I also really like the Cavill Superman. I think is a good example of what you can get away with as far as a face sculpt where it does look very much like the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like Cavill Superman in particular, because I have one as well with the plastic cape, and which I'm fine with. I'm fine with that. It's fine. He's essentially a statue anyway. I don't need him to have the whole flowy shitty thing. That makes it sound like I don't like cloth capes. They're fine. They're good. They're good. But his face sculpt is just really, especially in certain lighting, it is hard to distinguish it as not being a toy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when you truly hit magical place with the sculpt when, depending on the light that's on it, in general, you're like, this is a good sculpt. But if you have the right shadow on it, it's like, Jesus, this looks like a $250 action figure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good sign. So they did a great job with Cavill.
Yeah, they really did. I'm really glad I got this. I'm really glad that because they have had other Cavill releases before, but that was before I was back into it. Just like they had a Batfleck before in the costume that I like the Batfleck Batman in. So, oh well.
Yeah, you're still looking on that one. You're still looking for that one, folks. You're still looking for the regular non-armored Batman, non-Justice League Batman with just the regular, like the Dark Knight symbol and everything. It's fun. It's fine. I wouldn't say no if someone got it for me either, but it's not on my list because I already have I have Batman from Justice League, and that's fine. I didn't love Affleck as Batman. I didn't hate him as Batman, but I didn't love him as Batman. So I got my version. It's good. We're good.
Yeah.
Good.
And that is my top 5, folks. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments.
Why would you have a concern?
I don't know. Are you okay?
I'm very concerned about the types of Superman figures. You were missing this figure from Action Comics.
Hey, man,
no, please don't do that.
People are weird on the internet.
Don't do that. This is just our opinions. Richie's opinion is valid. That's the ones that spoke the most to him. And that is, as they say, that. When I do my Batman one in a couple of weeks, I will have my own picks. They may not be yours, but we love Richie's picks. They're good picks. Choices.
All right. So, because it was such a light week, action figure news-wise, I came up with the idea of why don't we tell what our top want for him to make before he loses the license in Q2 2026 and it goes back to Mattel.
That's right.
Now.
That's right. So, again, if you don't know, this is the first time you see this, Mcfarlane, they currently make DC action figures, of which Richie just showed you a bunch. Mm-hmm. And they are losing the license back to Mattel in Q2 2026, which is like the summer of next year. So, yeah, so you could Richie was like, give me your wants. I could not do one. I have 3.
Yeah, I have a very specific one. Now, if you had asked me this 2 or 3 weeks ago, it would have been a much different answer because mine would have been Cyborg, Superman, and Eradicator. But now those are already being made, so...
You got those coming. Those are happening.
Yeah, so...
Those are happening. Okay, let me put up one of mine, and then we'll talk about yours since I did the homework and I have a bunch.
Okay.
So let's talk about one of mine first.
All right, one of yours first.
Okay, so... Now, there's put both pictures up. So this is obviously Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, and this is Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. This is the one on screen right now that if they made, I would be getting immediately.
Did they make a variation of this one?
They have never made this in
I know they've made a little monster one. I know they made a little monster one.
They did not. That is not from Mcfarlane. Mcfarlane has never made an action figure of this toy.
Pretty sure part of the Suicide Squad built a figure for King Shark. King Shark had one of the versions was her in that.
No, that's the Suicide Squad. This is from Suicide Squad. They've never done anything from Suicide Squad. Oh, that means also we got no Will Smith Deadshot. We have no Captain Boomerang.
That's true. Okay.
And I think those are all ones that I think absolutely should be released. Daddy's Little Monster, I think, should have been an action figure, and I like that design. It is a little bit overtly sexualized. Freely admit that.
I mean, Harley herself
but,
is overly sexualized. Period.
A little bit. But honestly, I do like that design they did for the movie, and I would own an action figure of that if it was available. But the Harley Quinn suit that Richie showed from the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, that would have been, I think, a killer action figure. And I am surprised to this day that we do not have suit, because it's full coverage. It's a great superhero outfit. She looks great in it, and I'm just shocked. Like, why did we get Harley in the dress, which I got, by the way?
I can see it, yeah.
Right, somewhere. Yeah, right there. I got that. I like that. Not a lot of movement, but I like it. I want the fully posable Battle Gear Harley from the beginning of the Suicide Squad, Gunn's Suicide Squad. So get on that. You got a year. Let's make it happen.
Hey. Cool.
Richie.
You want to do your other one or mine next?
I'll do my other one, and then I'll do the secret one that you don't know about.
Ooh, secret one.
Secret.
Okay.
This
one, obviously,
I visual aids for
obviously you want this one to be remade because it was only available in the States, right?
This is a statue. This is one of the DC Direct statues from their line, the digital line. And I want this as a real figure. They released a classic Wonder Woman in the Gold series about a year and a half ago, before Richie was collecting toys, about a year and a half, maybe even almost 2 years ago. Never hit retail that I saw, was never available, could not get my hands on it, and it was $50 when it came out. I was like, this is ridiculous. It was the Wonder Woman figure we all wanted, and it was out and gone in a matter of seconds. I would like something like this that Richie just posted. I'd like another version of Wonder Woman. I'd like something a little bit more modern, a little bit of that combination of the classic comic book design and the Wonder Woman design from the 2017 movie with Gal Gadot. And I like this. I like this design, but this is a statue. I want an action figure. I want posability. And that, I think, is next to Harley, that's one of my most wants from Mcfarlane over the next 11 months, is I want to see a released widely across retail Wonder Woman figure. Mm-hmm. Give me.
Yeah.
Give it to me right now.
Cool.
Richie.
Mine is part of a duo that I have half of, and to my knowledge, they have not made the second half of this duo. I have Midnighter, but we really need to have an Apollo action figure.
Yes.
Yes,
that is a good pick.
Yeah, because, I mean, they made Midnighter. We can't not have Apollo. I mean, there's so many different ways that they can go with Apollo too, because there's so many different variations of his costume. So they've got lots of choice. But I think it would be a big miss on their part if they didn't follow up and also get the Apollo to go with Midnighter. Now, I know Midnighter is cooler to a lot of people because of his, Batman-esque to him. He's actually kind of cooler than Batman because he's basically got a supercomputer in his head and can so I would argue he's kind of cooler. Also, he loves
cooler. I don't know. Cool, sure, not cooler.
He also has a love and fascination for Dick Grayson's ass. So.
Apollo and Midnighter, and this is why I don't know if you're going to get this wish, even though I agree it's something they should have done, is Apollo and Midnighter are queer, and they are together as two men, and given the current situation south of the 49th parallel, I'm not sure if any companies are looking to champion queer action figures for the adult market, even though Apollo would sell. And I mean, a 2-pack with the old Midnighter would be, I think, a boon,
Yeah.
something really good for the line. Surprised.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to get another Midnighter to get Apollo, I'd do it.
Yeah, Midnighter's a great character. I would take that if they only make a 2-pack and you have 2 Midnighters. I'd take that Midnighter. I like Midnighter. He's good. He's fine.
So, yep, that was my pick.
So, I have a third. So, what I want really badly, Todd. Hey, how you doing? Great job for the most part. See this? You see this guy that I love? This guy? This guy needs to come with this paint job. This guy here painted up like this. That's what I want. That's what I want. We all want that. This, you nailed this design, but what's with this paint job? He's never had this paint job in the comics. This is the paint job. This is the old DC Direct version. And you know, I love this figure, but because it's DC Direct, his legs bow out, so he doesn't stand on his own very well anymore.
Yeah.
It's trash. This is new and this is new hotness. This is old and busted. But I want this.
No, that's
this
good.
color.
You know what's funny though is in my mind, only remember the lighter colors. Like if I'm thinking about the comics, I
Never happened. It never happened. Richie.
it's like
It
one of
never
those
happened.
Mandela effects.
It was like a cover. It's like a cover. It was on a cover, I think, that Norm Breyfogle did when he was doing Detective Comics, the artist. And I think that it was just a color mistake cover. But I can't even remember that. It's the darker version. That's the version we all know. That's the version we all love. Yes, I know some of you out there, the one of you that knows what I'm talking about is screaming at your screen right now. Oh, yeah, but they put out a version with black and gold, just like the White Knight guy. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's fine. First of all, that's an exclusive release, and it's like $45.
Plus it's
no
black
mas.
and gold. It's not the colors you want.
It's black and gold. It's cool, but it's not the colors. I want these colors, these super cool colors. Look at how great this
That's
guy
a storyline
looks. This
I'd
is
go
great-
back and
this
read
is great-
again.
Again, a great figure, and this is not our retro review section, although this did come out in like 2002. His legs are just not strong enough to support all this weight on him. He's great. I want this. I want another version of this. Because I like this. This is good. I want a version. Anyway, I've gone on too long about it.
But it's good that you mentioned retro
Sucks.
review because that is our next segment. See, that music is only
can't remember
that one's
what-
only 4 seconds long. So that one's pretty good.
It's perfect. That's enough for a jig.
So,
You dance a little
hey,
jig. You tip your hat to the fiddler.
You're lucky. Once
Boom.
we get to shit Richie bought this week, you're lucky I didn't go with the theme song I wanted to because it had like 2 verses and a chorus. And this one is just like well, you heard it when I played it earlier for you, but
Richie, I said it before and I'll say it again. You can't use "Carry On, My Wayward Son." You can't. We don't have the rights. You're just ripping off Supernatural. We can't do it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
hey, we can't use that either. Anyways,
The song you sing in your head when you're in the toil aisle and you find the one that you want, but you only have so much amount of money. You have to go, let it go, put it back on the shelf and leave.
nice. I might have to record that as a soundbite and add it to the list.
Yeah.
All right, so
You know what? Do as well.
now, much like some of Tupper's other photos, whereas G.I. Joes I'm somewhat familiar with, but I still come up with silly names because I'm not as into G.I. Joe, I have no idea what these toys Tupper is talking about are. I called them Gundams. Apparently they're not. But I've come I've come up with silly names for them as well. This first one, just because it kind of makes me think of like a Temu Starscream. So this is Star Yelp.
Okay, so for all of you that are watching this, that are Macross fans, that are Robotech fans, I apologize for Richie's words. I apologize for everything that he just said, because they are an affront to everything that is wonderful and good in this world. This, of course, Richie, is the SDF, the Super Dimensional Fortress 1 from the iconic 80s TV series Robotech, which was ported over
Robotech.
from
That's
the
like
iconic...
Gundam.
It's not at all like Gundam! Jesus Christ, the Gundams are just robots. They don't transform into anything. God, how do I do this with you? Why do you get me all riled up like this?
These are like Gundams if they were GoBots.
Oh my God. that might have been the worst sentence you've ever said in your whole life. Gundams if they were like GoBots.
A piece of Tupper die a little after I said that.
Jesus. I mean, look, that is I feel like you should get a t-shirt that walks around with air quotes and be like, so they're like Gundams that transform into GoBots? And watch nerds' brains explode the next time you're at a convention.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so this is the SDF one. This is the main ship that they traveled around with in the cartoon series, the first 35 episodes. A lot of stuff happens. This is not the podcast to talk about the complexities of Robotech and Macross. This was a toy that was released when the series came out in 1985. It is from Matchbox Toys, and it is a thing that has been on my shelf for, well, since 1985. So 40 years. This is a 40-year-old toy. And it, unlike the cartoon, does not transform, is stationary. It is a action figure. Unlike the cartoon, it falls apart pretty easily, which doesn't really happen in the show. I mean, it gets damaged,
is it supposed to turn into like a space battleship?
It's supposed to turn into a space battleship, and then it turns into the robot. That's the robot form. And he's on my shelf up here. You can't see, but he's like over here. And he's been on my shelf for decades. And I love the Robotech and Robotech and the Macross stuff a lot. And we're going to talk more about that in a second. But like this was an iconic piece of hardware. They did have a larger version of the SDF-1 that did transform. And we never got that stateside, as they say. I never recalled seeing it anywhere. But this is a very iconic 80s toy. The arms come off very, very easily. As you can see, the guns in the back do fold down, so you can have the main gun shot like they do in the show. Half of it is die-cast metal, so that's again, this is the 80s.
Oh, you could hurt someone with it.
You were to throw this at someone's face, you would break their nose.
I love
and that's
toys
how we
you
did
can
things
hurt
in the
people
80s.
with.
Yeah. It's a heavy figure. It's heavy. Most of it is, in fact, die-cast metal, so it is very heavy. And it also stands the test of time. Again, like you guys saw the photos, I've had this thing for 40 years. I played with it a lot. It's supposed to have guns on the shoulders and little antennas on the head. Those were lost almost immediately. I don't know why you give a toy for children little teeny tiny aerials to put on it. Clear that it was never meant to be given to North American children.
It's about natural selection. If the kid survives it.
Let's just say the choking hazard on this toy was like 10 and up. It was not... I don't know how I didn't die, because again, 1985 is when I got this. It was I was 6 years old. Maybe that's where the antennas are.
It's
they went right into my mouth.
Into your intestinal tract.
Maybe that's why I have IBS now in my 40s. It's like, yeah, there's a tiny little antenna in there. It's like, oh, finally, my SDF1 is complete again.
Anyways, moving along.
It is one of those things. Bygone time. So next to him is the robot version of Pirate Bot. All right, well, that's so very obviously wrong.
He's got a skull and crossbones. He's obviously a pirate.
Yeah, he's part of Skull Squadron. So this is the robot, the robotic version of the Veritech fighter, which is an airplane, and then converts into a Guardian mode, and this is battle mode. And we got some cool poses. This is from a company called Toynami. Was released in 2002. I got it around 2003 is when I think they made their way over to North America. 2003, 2004, based on Robotech / Macross. This one is mostly based on Macross. There's a photo, you can see the sides. It's got the symbols and everything on it, but it says UN Spacey all over this thing. That was the name of the military organization in Macross, not Robotech. Robotech was the Robotech Defense Force, not UN Spacey. So it's a great toy. It doesn't do a whole lot of moving around. It's got a little bit of waist movement. It's got obviously joints at the knees and the elbows. It's got a fairly strong range of movement with it. But it's like anything. It is a toy that came out in 2002, 2003. Although it did come with several different hands, which I thought was very cool, which is really neat. That was something that was a foreign concept back in the mid-2000s, is having toys that had multiple different types of hands, unless you were collecting the more expensive figures. So for like $40 bucks to get a robot that had interchangeable hands was pretty cool. These Toynami figures didn't really hit huge because they're based on a transforming figure and they don't transform. So a lot of the Robotech or Macross stuff that did come over here, we did have a lot of stuff that just did not change modes. And a lot of fans of transformable, be it cartoons or movies or whatever, they really hate it when you give them a toy that transforms in the media that doesn't actually transform.
I would have thrown it at somebody and hurt them because it's...
Well, it says right on the package that it's not transformable, that it's an action figure. So, I mean, you know what you're getting into. Get into that design. And also...
there is one more photo, because it has Pirate Bot in it, but there's a blue one, so I called him Blue Bot, like Bluebeard, because he's also a pirate.
Yeah, that's Max Sterling's Veritech. That is also a...
Max Sterling is totally a pirate name.
I mean, he's not in Pirate. It's Blue. He's not Skull Squadron. He's just Blue Squadron. Oh boy! So that's a little throwback. We haven't had a lot of robots on this show. We don't talk a lot about robots, but I do love robots. I love me a good robot toy.
We don't talk about robots.
This is the musicals episode for sure. Little Frozen reference, little Encanto. What's coming next, baby? What's coming next? Yeah, so there's a little throwback to a time when robots were robots and men were men and women were women, and story was the way it worked. And we'll try to get more robots on the show as they come through, but I'm very picky about my robot needs. It's got to fit a certain design element to it. I love robots. I don't have a lot of Transformers anymore. We'll talk about my other transformable figure that it doesn't transform at some point down the road. But yeah, I don't have anything that transforms because mainly those things are very expensive, and transformable action figures now are very complicated if you want them to look right. And I don't know if I want to get into that.
All right.
So that's your retro goodness for this week.
It's time for
what's up next, Richie?
Our newest segment.
Shit Richie bought this week.
So
long. It's so long. But I love that part at the end. It just really brings the whole piece together.
Yeah, I walked into not my normal GameStop today, the one on Innis Road, because I pop into them randomly whenever, because I also knew that they were shipping some older figures recently. To my surprise, they just started another Mcfarlane sale, and this one was insane because a figure like Captain Boomerang, who I just said recently on this podcast that I wasn't gonna get originally because the jacket is so janky, and it was going for I think $29.99 or $32. And this isn't even that old. It's only like maybe it's under 6 months old. $9.99. I got this sucker for today.
$9.99.
So
That is a great deal.
yeah, so
That is a can't turn it away deal.
I keep manifesting these action figure things. I was like, I need a cyborg Superman and a Eradicator, and then next thing you know, Mark McFarlane's making it. Maybe
I don't think you're using that word correctly.
And then I'm like, I need to
I don't
get
think that's
this
how it
for
works.
cheaper, and then next thing you know, it's available for cheaper. I think I am. So I was smart
is
though.
it manifesting or?
I was smart though.
You're
I
just being smart?
pre-cut all the stupid little things, and I'm gonna show you what I think why this figure's worth it after I get this jacket off is because although his iconic look is with the jacket, he does look good without the jacket, and this action figure, and the scarf is cloth, but he looks really cool.
Oh, that's nice.
He looks really cool underneath the jacket. So
He does look good.
there's that. He's got closed fist hands, and then he's got. I didn't do the tape that covers the hands because I didn't want them falling out. He's got these open hands, which are good, and I think that these are the ones that are good for the boomerangs that I'll show you in a second.
Boomerang.
These ones will be able to hold the boomerangs. He comes with 2 boomerangs. It's funny because he's got the ones on his sheath around his bandolier of boomerangs, but then you got his actual boomerangs, and they're huge, but it'll look really cool once it's in his hand. So yeah, Captain Boomerang. That jacket will never be displayed because it looks like ass. And it also comes with
A poor jacket.
It also comes with this card stand thingy, but I never use those, so.
Holy crap, are those stupid.
Yeah.
Again, why McFarlane decided to put out those stands with the cards. Maybe there is a group, a very vocal group of collectors who love those cards. I have, like, at this point, I want to say 20 boxes that have nothing in them but a card. Like, what am I going to do with a goddamn card?
Now,
I just don't see the value.
I'm going to tell you, I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes that contain action figures today.
Richie got so much shit this week.
It's true. So much shit. The next one being, and this is another one, like, I love the character, just wasn't something high on my to get list. Recently, again, I was at 29, maybe 32. No, 32 because it's a bit larger of the box. But for $9.99, again, the Huntress.
I think that's my favorite of your pickups. Just because I love the character of the Huntress.
Yeah.
I really like the design of that toy. And I made mention of it. We were out one time and I said, this Huntress figure is really nice. Mm-hmm. And you agreed, and you were like...
there is a chase of her as well, where it's the dark purple instead. Again, she's got the cloth and wired cape. This is another one of those figures that have alternate faces as opposed to heads. So she comes with that face, cool little smirk there, and then that face. A little more. I'm gonna beat the crap out
Intense.
of you. And
Now,
of course, she's
I
got
re-
her crossbow.
crossbow. I gotta ask the separation. I think one of the reasons I like this figure is because there's different faces, and I think it's easier to hide the line that
It
would be
is.
separating different faces with her hair, right?
Yeah, the hair and the mask make it really easy to hide. And she comes with 4 other hands.
Holy shit! It's great to get a pickup where you get multiple hands, multiple heads for under $15.
Yeah.
Like, that is really rare.
Some open hands. And then some closed fists. And yeah, so Huntress. So
Yeah, I think that's what the best one that you got.
Yeah.
I think that, in my
it's
opinion,
funny because like I
that's
walked in
it's such a
and
big deal.
to the Innis one, and I saw the Captain Boomerang, and the next one, I'll do the next. Still have to put it back in the box afterwards.
Why?
Because otherwise I'll have like things all over my office. So I gotta have at least them in
Yeah,
there. But I also saw
You're messy. You're messy. It's fine.
I saw the
No one's
Huntress.
judging you.
Sorry, I saw the Captain Boomerang, and this one were the ones that caught my eye first. Especially this one because it's $39.99 normally, and I wasn't gonna get it at first. And that's Red Hood's bike, and again, $9.99. I've spent at this point
$10 for toys.
$30 so far on those 3 things, and
In this economy, that is just not a price point you can expect to
Yeah.
see. You just really
it's got
can't.
the stand for the wheel. You can do different poses and stuff. But Red Hood's motorcycle
Nice.
is a really good.
I wonder how big that cycle is compared to, say, the 6-inch figures. Oh, like, obviously, you know, it fits McFarlane's toys, but could you put like one of the Marvel Legends
Probably.
on that bike and have it look good?
I think it would have to be
where it looks good.
I think it might have to be the right character. I don't know which one that is, but it would have to. I don't think all characters it would work for.
I'm throwing that out there. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm mostly thinking from the standpoint of, would the bike at $10, say, work with one of my G.I. Joe Classifieds figures who may find themselves on motorbikes more often than, say, Spider-Man?
Next up,
So I'm just curious.
again, another one that because it's a Mcfarlane digital, these ones usually run for $32. I don't know why they're differently priced because I generally don't have that many more accessories. One that it's a character I like, but not one that I was going to pay that much for a action figure. But at $9.99, I couldn't not get the Atom, Ray Palmer.
Yeah.
Especially since he comes with
Zero
a little version of
interest for
himself.
me.
A little version of himself, so you can actually pose him, so it looks like he's enlarging.
No, I get it. Yeah, you want to pose him so he's playing with himself. I get it. It's fine.
I love the character of the Atom. One of my favorite, less popular characters, I guess you could phrase it. But
He's all right.
apparently there's a Ryan
He's
Choi
all right.
action figure out there, which would be cool because I like Ryan Choi as well.
There is a Ryan Choi one.
So he
I've
comes
seen
with
that one, yeah.
the mini Ray, and then 2 different hands. So not a lot, but again at $9.99, how can you say no?
You absolutely can't.
I
mean,
literally did not.
You didn't. That's why we're doing this. It also comes down to the fact that if you're trying to, like, say, build up an entire series, if you're trying to get a lot of just everything, and you have an appreciation for that. I know when I was collecting the DC Universe stuff, I got a lot of stuff that I was like, it looks nice, so I'm just going to pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, Dead Man's a good example. I'm not a big Dead Man fan, but the figure looked nice, and I got it, and it was a great figure. I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it, but
I would love a Dead Man. You son of a bitch.
yeah, Dead Man is another figure that they should have been putting in the DC, the McFarlane DC Universe line. But I believe he is coming. I think we saw in our previews a couple of episodes ago, we're at Toy Fair or the Anaheim show, that there is on his way. So I think you'll get your wish. I think you're going to get your wish.
This one's, if you're a Justice League International fan, you may like this character. And again, $9.99. It's hard to say no to Fire. It was a great character. I'm not sure if they already have an ice out there. If they don't, they should definitely make an ice.
No, I don't think they have an ice. I don't think they have ice. They might. They might have ice. I don't know.
This is one where the translucence actually looks really cool because she is basically green fire. So she'll probably actually go on my lantern shelf just to fit the aesthetic. Very basic. Doesn't come with any accessories other than the stand. And yeah. So.
Hey, $10 though.
$10.
Hang her on for $10.
I've got one more.
There's nothing. No figure is useless at $10 because it's $10.
Exactly.
Even if the hand breaks off, just stick some on it, and boom, it's still there. It's $10. That's what I got my Mystique figure for. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best ones that I have in the line.
We also have a theory. I was talking to because first when I went to Innis, I then immediately went to my store because it was like, I got to see if they got any other older stuff and what's on sale there. And I walked in, I'm like, I was cheating on you guys at Innis. And she's like, why? And then, but I knew there was going to be stuff there that I'd want as well. And I've got one more. This is the most expensive one that I picked up today. It's still not a lot. Normally retails for $59.99, although I think when it came out it was $69. Now for $19.99, Bizarro and Batzarro. Super cool.
He was looking, and Richie was looking for a Batzarro. Mm-hmm. We were talking about that recently, so I mean, I know the new Bizarro is coming.
Yeah. But I do really like.
In the next couple weeks.
I do really like these versions specifically because. Oops. Did I? Nope, there we go. Because this storyline is actually really cool, where Bizarro and Batzarro are on. It's something I've read. It's from one of the, not the current World's Finest run, but an older World's Finest run. Or what's this? No, it's the Superman Batman comic book, not World's Finest.
It was Superman Batman. I think Jeff Loeb writes. Ed McGuinness was the artist. But it was back when I was collecting comic books.
Bizarro comes with his Bizarro number 1
Bizarro
necklace, and then I love the look of Batzarro because just the way they do the face and the mask is just so cool to me.
I think Batzarro I also feel was a precursor to the Batman Who Laughs.
I think so too.
Just in some of the design elements. Yeah.
There's a couple extra hands for Batzarro. But I also love when they specifically do a special stand or background for duo packs.
You're a sucker for those. I'm like, this is a waste. It could be giving me accessories up the yin yang, and I don't want to fucking displays design thing in the battle.
I almost missed that there are a couple hands for Bizarro as well as Batzarro. So there we go.
There you go.
But yeah, so this stuff should
Richie
have
likes it when stuff comes with his
30, 60. This stuff should have cost me normally like maybe between $200 and $300. $70 total is what I spent on all of this today. So,
that's a great deal.
I do not know how long the sale is going on. Our theory, by the way, is that the dude that just bought GameStop is like, let's have another McFarlane sale because let's clear out all the old stuff and get it going. And so, and
I mean, Richie, that might have also been why he bought GameStop, because he was like, this is going to be a great opportunity for us to get through the backlog of what we have and make some profit on stuff that is just going to be going into dollar bins in the first place. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's that to me, it makes perfect sense, especially since they are getting out of the license for DC, and obviously, you know, but Mcfarlane will need and has other products that they're going to be out there. But I think this also gives.
I didn't realize the fire effects come off on her, so that's cool.
Well, yeah. Why would they not? Why would they be permanently on there?
They looked like they were just permanently on. They didn't.
No. It always come off. You dip.
You shut your face.
You interrupted me.
Sorry.
You interrupted me when I was talking. I think that's one of the reasons that the guy that co-owns Mcfarlane bought GameStop and turned it back into EB is that when they lose the DC license next year, they will see less money coming in from toy stores and toy retailers. And I think this is a smart way to make sure that their product is out there, because you know, when you go to GameStop, you're going to see your Marvel Legends, you're going to see your DC figures through Mattel in a year. You're going to see your G.I. Joe classifieds, you're going to see your NECA stuff, you're going to see a bunch of different brands. But this is a good way for them to still push whatever they have out there and make sure that people still know about it. Yeah. So as long as they're not undercutting those other brands for, you know, upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mortal Kombat figures from Mcfarlane, then I'm totally fine with this plan. Yeah. But again, they know business. They know that that's not the right way to do it. So it's just interesting. It's interesting.
It was very funny too, because up until literally when I stopped by the stores, I was like, we have nothing to use for shit Richie bought this week, when we just made the graphic and the song.
Just made it.
And then boom.
I love how your commitment. You're so committed to this that when I told him that I did this, he was like, I got to get some stuff to use for it. The theme.
Well, the thing is,
I can't have nothing.
The funny thing is, too, I also ordered something on Sunday, ordered 3 new figures as well, for a total of $100 plus, including shipping and taxes.
That's not bad.
From a new site that I was browsing at called figurinesforall.ca.
Is this your secret thing that you were going to tell us about?
No, not yet. The secret thing was the Apollo. Where was I? Oh, yes. But originally, first of all, it said it was going to be delivered today. Well, first it said it was going to arrive May 13th, which was Friday. I'm like, oh, well. And then it said it was going to arrive today. I was like, yeah. And this is before I went to GameStop. And then I got it at my mail guy came, and I'm like, oh, nothing in the mail because it's coming Canada Post. And then I look at it, and it says now arriving June 2nd. And I'm like, what? And I go look, and it's on Canada Post. It says something about customs. I'm like, but it's coming from Montreal. And then apparently there's a processing error. So I'm and the customer was calling it back. So I'm thinking they put shit that they didn't mean to in the box, and now we're trying to get it back and then reship it to me. But
that's interesting. It also could. There could be problems on the distribution side. For those of you who live in Canada, you should be aware that Canada Post is probably going to go on strike at the end of May. So you may see delays to your shipments if they are being shipped through Canada Post towards the end of the month and into June. Just as a little, make sure you're aware. That may cause some of your shit to arrive late.
These aren't new figures. These are 3 older figures. And these are the best prices that I found all 3 of them for. And a damn good complete price. So we'll see those coming in a future episode of Repackaged. But
yeah, and Richie, ever the stay tuned guy, is not going to give us any more than that. He wants you to tune in and find out.
That's right.
What those things are going to be.
You have to leave them wanting, Tupper.
Yeah, that's it. That's what people watching this are doing. They're gonna come back because we're gonna be like, what did Richie not open?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching this and you're genuinely interested in what's coming for Richie to open and show us that's older, I mean, get outside. Go walk around.
Touch some grass.
Go to a park. Touch some grass. Get a meal that is not something that is pre-frozen.
Or fried.
From a restaurant. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Go out with people.
That being said, that's all we have today for you folks. So don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe. Speeding Bullets Reloaded on YouTube. SpeedingBulletsReloaded.com for all of our hub of Speeding Bullets stuff, because they're all themed. And enjoy. We will see you next time.
1984, I know it's hard to remember. All 1,980 members. That's why you have to go and collect them all. Tell your
Remember, you have to edit this episode, Richie, because there's like 7 minutes of nothing. I have to get rid of that.
Go!
Anyway, bye, folks.